Welcome, seamen and sailors, to episode 51 of Dion Rising. This right here is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play campaign brought to you by my friends, the Knights of D20. Hi, babes. Look at them all. I love it every week, never gets old. Okay, as usual, before we begin fighting sharks with human legs, we have a few announcements brought to you by a friend of mine who is moving into a new castle soon and needs to hire 2 orcs and a carriage to move his comic book collection. Bobby, what are the announcements this week?
That is true. The only announcement I have for you this week is that Wednesday is my last tea time at this house. And also, because of moving day, it's going to be my last tea time this month. So, if you want to come hang out with me and Kara, instead of drinking tea, we're actually going to be drinking some alcohol. So, you might be able to get a little bit better answers to some of your questions than you normally would as we drink our way through the night and get into the questions that people want answers to. That's all I really have for you. So we're gonna send it back to our dungeon mother so we can get into the game as quick as possible because I want to know what's about to happen.
Oh, me too, Laurel, me too. Okay, last we left off. Sorry, I meant to say thank you, Bobby. And thank you all again for joining us as we embark on an epic adventure in the world of Dion, where heroes rise, dangers abound, and legends are born. Players, dice at the ready. Okay. Yeah, last we left off, episode 50. It was a fun one. We started off the episode at the Bay of Ilar, standing on the beach, watching our new friends Nomi and Benji have a quiet moment of reflection about their long lost village that fell before and sort of during the Undying Curse on the Undying Wood of Wawasite. However, as the group was standing and participating in this solemn and heartfelt moment, Melanie and Serafina were whisked into the ocean by a fell current, and the party had to dive in after them as some beastly undersea creatures came up from the depths of the trench and tried to drag specifically Glitterbell deep, deep, deep into the waters. Melanie heard a unpleasant sort of Leviathan-esque voice from the depths, who seemed a bit upset about another creature's paragon or something being in his waters. So the team had a good fight, put up a really good show, and defeated those fell beasts. And just in time, their new ship, gifted to them by none other than the Arendriel Triumphant Counselor and Dockmaster Bellinor Aurora, sailed into view with their good friend and very handsome pirate-esque friend, Varmox the Severed III at the helm. And Eureka from below decks came up, none other than Darkdown. Let the team know as soon as they got them on board that Arendriel is under attack, seemingly by the cult led by the Shape Changer who attacked the Arendriel Navy in the first place. So, with Arendriel under siege from both rivers to the south and to the west, the party has debated how they would go about getting back to the Middle Continent and decided to go through the Druid city Eltes, where they have visited before and made a quick appointment to see the Druid King Simond. An appointment which they may or may not have missed by a few days, but hopefully they can still manage to finagle out of the group. So, as you are on your newly built sloop, it is sea and shallow water ready, single-masted masterwork. And you are sailing along. I believe last we left off, you all were going to bed on the first day of travel, correct? We've got about a day and another night of travel left before you're going to arrive at the shores of Eltes, which is sort of a port city-ish. You've been there before. It's built of an old ancient fort castle that has been reinforced by this group of druids living in Wawasite to act as the seat of this druid king who you have not met yet. And as you sail, I need to ask, is there anything you guys need to do on the ship with your crew? You have a whole crew of people here working, originally sort of hired onto the ship by Dockmaster Aurora. but who hope to still get paid by after they had to launch very early. The ship is not quite battle ready, but it is seaworthy. So anything anybody wants to do on the ship, let me know. Otherwise, we can kind of fast forward through this day of sea travel as you wake up the following morning.
I'm good. I'm just doing more studies with the navigator.
Perfect.
Do we have to... What's the word? Because Varmox is going to sail the... No, are we leaving the ship in Eltest, or is Varmox going to sail it back to Nerdistan? Was that the idea?
I'm not sure you guys had come to a consensus on that exactly yet. You had talked about it briefly, so it's up to you guys how you want to do that. Varmox would be happy to travel with you through the portal to get back, or via ship he could sail it back through the way they came. He'll arrive slower that way and end up on the wrong side of sort of this invading naval force. He'll end up at sea while you're trying to get inland. But that may be a boon. It's up to you guys.
My thinking was that we were going to leave Varmox and the ship here in Eltash as we traveled to the, I think it was the base camp where the teleportation circle was. That way we wouldn't risk the boat and the crew, because there's nothing that this half-built sloop is going to do against those fleets. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we just have to come back and get it then.
Yeah, take the teleportation circle back, or we could leave Ascending Stone with Varmox and say, hey, come pick us up in 12 days once we're done doing whatever we're going to do over there.
Yeah, I guess that could be an idea. I just didn't know if are we gonna have to pay some docking fees or something for leaving the ship somewhere.
You just, as long as you move the ship like every 6 hours or so, you're not gonna get any tickets. So
when they chalk the like where the ship's been,
yeah,
they don't see it rotate, you'll get you get a ticket. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to kind of make sure we had a plan for that. And I'm assuming are we gonna be in Eltest for a while? Is that the plan? Or is this gonna be a quick stopover?
I think we should have a meeting with the king.
Hopefully that won't take too long. Walk in like we own the joint, talk to the king, get out, go and head to Berastresh, where we're meeting Nomi.
What exactly are we asking the king about? What are we talking about?
That's a good question, Serafina. What are we talking about with the king?
I think this is more of a networking opportunity for us.
You do know your home is being blockaded and invaded by cultists, right?
I think maybe the king could be helpful for this situation. I think this alliance would be very beneficial for us.
I mean, we have to go to the city anyways. If you have some kind of master plan in mind, then by all means, I know how charming you can be, so if anyone can do it, it's you. But, time is of the essence.
And, well, plus we did have an appointment a couple weeks ago. So that means something.
And what are we without our reputations? You know?
And I suppose, are we gonna, is Varmox, well, I'm gonna look over to Varmox and I'll ask, Varmox, do we need to do any resupplying in Eltest while we're there? Seems to be really the main accessible port city.
Yes, we will, we'll certainly need to. We barely got enough. We have enough supplies here to make our way back with you on ship thanks to, Eureka, but if you plan on leaving us with the ship at Eltas and we're docked there, we don't necessarily need to stock up the ship unless you want us to dock it out at sea, or we could eat at Eltas if they'll have us. But for the trip home, we'd be fine. We can refresh our supplies. We can maybe do some trading with the Druids when we arrive at Eltas for what we need to get back when you call us, if you call us back.
when we were there, just as like a remembering back, I don't think we really took any time to go through the port itself too much. But outside of druids, were there other races and visitors, passerbys, things like that that were at the port or the city in general?
Let's roll like a belated history or investigation check for the last time you guys were there.
All right, I'm gonna do investigation. Oh, that's not good.
Whoever else wants to is welcome to.
Yeah, it's only 8
We'll
for
also
me.
allow a nature check since it's a druidic area. I mean, you saw a variety of races, right? Like just visibly, you walked around, you saw a lot of wood elves, you saw a lot of half elves, humans. You yourself bought the bullet mold from a dwarf, and he had quite a few dwarves and halflings working in his forge. You saw a good amount of like Lightfoot halflings, it looked like, some like wood gnomes. But you also saw some more interesting ancestries of people. You saw a few Aarakocras walking around. You even saw like a little group of like gnolls playing. Lots of a more variety of races than you would see maybe on the middle continent for sure. Just being on the eastern continent in general, a lot more races of different like anthropomorphic animal people live in the area and are part of the druid circles. But yeah, it is mostly druids as far as like what you would consider like a class or an occupation group, if you will.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it would be a spot to potentially find more people to fill out the crew, seeing how we are missing some roles. I don't know if any druids are keen on sailing, but I'm sure they're good at healing if we needed one.
Yeah, I was gonna say like healers, and I'm
Healers,
more than
survivors.
just if we have rangers there, there's people who know how to cook.
Yeah. They can navigate really well. They can help you in like survival storm situations. Yeah, druids, a lot of them, you would know druids in this world are, they're pretty connected to the elements specifically. And that's never a bad thing to have when out in the wilderness, whether that be the forest or out on the open sea. Yeah, but you do have the people employed by Aurora on the ship, so you're welcome to ask around and see if any of them are interested in joining your crew permanently in the long term. Or you can like ask Varmox for his opinion since he's been traveling with them for a bit. Or you can start your crew afresh. But yeah, you can ask around the Druid Grove. It's not unheard of for them to be very accomplished sailors.
Okay, that was kind of what I wanted to know.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, otherwise, so I've got Eidos, you're still working to learn as a navigator. Let's do another study roll for you. So go ahead and roll a survival check for me. Or you can roll if you want to do this like more academically, like since it didn't go so well the first time and you want to kind of switch up your means and methods of learning here. I'll get creative with you. You can do like investigation, you could do I would allow like a straight nature check, or you can argue for something different if you want. Performance maybe.
Nature feels right. Appropriate anyway.
Sure, hit it.
Okay, cool. That was worth a reroll. 16.
Okay, nice, excellent. Yeah, this is much easier. You decide to sort of lean into a bit more of your ancestry, your elf race, and yeah, this helps a lot. You being able to kind of commune and get your sea legs under you a little bit more and actually appreciate, hey, we are traveling on this crazy rough bay. These are very difficult waters to be sailing on, and you lean more into thinking about how the ship interacts with the ocean itself as opposed to the mechanics of the ship in like a minute detail kind of way. Yeah, and you go with your instincts. You start to look at the stars as opposed to trying to rely on charts that you didn't spend a lot of time in school, I think, learning like chart navigation, map navigation. You've always had someone to drive your carriage, but you're starting to pick those things up pretty well. So that is excellent. You will have, do you want to take over as the navigator officially? I would allow it with that role. You can leave like a second to take your place while you're not on the ship, kind of like the others did, if you would like to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So anytime you're acting as navigator, you will have advantage on the ship.
Great. Awesome.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything on the ship in particular?
We still have another long rest before we're on land. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. So you can use whatever spells you want today.
Perfect. I
The
think
ship's
we're
on
gonna go
rough, choppy
flying
waters,
again.
but your crew seem competent.
I think Marway's gonna spend an hour flying. And then after that, I don't know. I guess he's just gonna kind of write in his journal and read through some of his books.
Okay. For that flying, I believe last time we did... What did we do? Strength or... I don't remember what
Animal
specifically check we
handling?
did. Yeah. I like that. Let's do animal handling.
Perfect. Because we've got a big old bonus for that.
Yeah.
Maybe a 24.
Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah. Last time it took you a while to really get used to like having that like saddle seat, that feeling of not having a lot of like control, really using your little satyr leg muscles in a new way. It's like it's not this quite the same as riding Killian's steed, but you're getting the hang of it for sure. You're starting to be able to take like harder banked turns, which is going to help you as far as like moving around a battlefield quickly, being a little bit more dexterous, not feeling like you're going to fall off. Yeah, that 24 is excellent. And you and Hearth specifically, you're doing this by like communicating so intricately and quickly and coming up with different signals for you and Hearth to give to each other so that you can say where you want to go and Hearth can tell you how he's going to get you there, so that you aren't like the passenger in the car sort of reacting. You can be more leaning into it as opposed to just holding on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And specifically, I'd like to say the last like 10 minutes of my hour-long spell, I think we're just gonna like glide really, really comfortably, and I think Marway's just gonna take that as time away from the group where literally no one can get to him, and that's gonna be his just decompress and kind of feeling free.
Yeah. The ocean foam beneath you, the rolling waves. It's this like rhythmic sort of white noise happening, and you feel this is probably the first time you've been this alone in a solid few months. Okay, and then is there anything in particular you're gonna read, learn, study afterwards after your hour of flying is up?
No, I think he's just gonna be, reading through that evergreen tome that he got 5 ever ago, because I don't have my demi-plane book because the little halfling has it.
Indeed, yeah. You've read a chunk of that book. You're reading it slowly, but you're picking up more common too as you read it, and understanding a lot more of like the little nuances of language in the common tongue. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else? Seraphina, you sunbathing?
Yes, so Seraphina's sunbathing, and I think during the nighttime when she's not tanning, this is kind of a deep cut, but back when I think we were in the library, she had found this I think it's a scroll, and we described it sort of like a magic eye. She was trying to figure it out. Do you recall this?
Magic eye. Let me... Where was it you found it?
It was in the giant library where we had like the index. I forgot the name of the library.
Yeah, do a quick search because I don't remember exactly, but I think I know what you mean.
I forgot what it was called. But it was like a black scroll. I think it was about warlocks.
The old warlock
Ooh,
scroll.
Yes. Okay, what about it? Are you just reading through it?
Yes, so I think Seraphina hadn't had a chance to really unlock the mysteries of the magic eye scroll, so she's gonna be staring at it cross-eyed when nobody's looking.
Okay, roll for me an Arcana check.
Okay. 13?
You're staring at it cross-eyed, girl.
Oh my gosh! No, she throws it across the room.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So Killian is going to like kind of cutting back to when Marway was just flying around. Killian's just gonna kind of be like just standing on like the side of the boat, just like watching Marway fly around, and he's gonna be jealous because I can't do that. And he's got a cool flying creature, and he's gonna get a little bit frustrated, and he wants to improve himself, and he's gonna call up his training buddy Ados after he's finished his navigational learning that he's doing. Ados, it's time. I know I got it this time. Let's throw some lightning at me.
Oh, just jumping right into it? Okay. How about we stand up against the mast? I don't feel so good shooting with a lightning bolt over, near so close to the railing.
You want it to hit the mast instead?
I don't want to kill you, bud. Okay, fine. Stand next to the trapdoor.
All right, perfect. So Killian will kind of take a stance, battle ready, and let those sparks fly.
All right. Ados is going to do his best. Non-lethal lightning bolt straight to the chest. That's going to be a dexterity 16 DC.
All right.
Or saving throw. Whatever.
All right. Well, I get like a 24, so I save on it.
Nice. You take half damage.
How much is that?
Forgot about that part. It's too much. But since I said it was non-lethal, straight shot to the chest, do I still roll damage?
Yes.
It felt stupid saying it, but I just wanted to say it just in case. Alright, cool. I rolled low. 3, 5, 10. Any more? All of them? Okay.
I'll have to roll with the highest spell slot. Jeez.
No, this is the first spell slot. I guess I could have done a weaker spell, but you know. 14.
Go big or go home, I guess.
23. You said you've been practicing.
It's true.
23 points of lightning damage, and then cut that in half. 11 points.
Okay.
I think you round down, right?
Yeah, so as you reach out the lightning ball, Killian's gonna like put his hands out and try and stop it, but the lightning bolt just kind of goes through and it hits him. Although, kind of at the last moment, Killian like reflexes kick in and he just like gets out of the way of taking it head on, like straight in the chest. So it kind of like glances off of his shoulder instead. He just, I'm gonna, damn it, I almost had it this time.
You hear Ados cackling. Like, yes, you've grown stronger.
Well, all right, okay. Oh, Eos, one more time. I got it. I swear.
Okay, you want me to use the same spell? Wasn't too hard for you?
Same thing. Let's go. I got this.
Okay. And yeah, that's on you. Dexterity 16.
All right. All right. Plus 7, so 18.
Okay. 7, 11, 16. 19, 21, 24, and 28. 14 points of lightning damage.
So as you unleash the lightning this time, once again, like Killian puts out his hands, and this time a surge of magic comes from Killian's eye, and he can feel just course through him as he puts his hands out and uses the absorb elements, and he takes his reaction to like absorb some of the extra shock of it and just kind of like channel it into himself, still taking some damage, but then he kind of just is just dumbfounded at his own skills. And I can... Is this what you feel all the time, Eidos? This is powerful.
Raw power. You will come to be as in love with it as I am.
Oh,
And then Eidos will clear his throat. Sorry. Yeah. It feels great, right? Keep practicing, the fundamentals. Keep going through the exercises, and you can feel this good all the time, just like your old sensei. Me.
Dylan just like looks at his hands, and there's like little crackles of the electricity that's just been absorbed. He's like, "This was a great lesson. Can't wait for the next one."
You've come a long way. Lightning looks good on you.
I'm sure that will come in handy someday. Okay. Yeah, you all pass the day away. A few of the crew members socialize with you all a bit, but mostly they stay working pretty hard to keep the ship upright topside because this is rough water. Everybody roll a constitution check as the waters get even rougher through the afternoon and into the evening.
If anyone's near me, you can get a +4 to that.
19.
Seraphina has 11.
18 for Killian.
I mean,
It's Glitter.
Yeah, do Glitterbell too. Yep. Eidos, what was yours?
I rolled a natural 1, but it went all the way up to 10. So
Yeah,
whatever
okay.
you want to do with that.
I think your frequent alcohol consumption actually makes you feel like you're walking a little straighter than usual.
It's counterbalancing.
Melanie, though, you both have a little bit of seasickness into the afternoon and nighttime. It's kind of hard for you to sleep that night as the rough waters really rock you around, and no amount of hammock sleeping can help you right your brain. So you'll both be dealing with a point of exhaustion the following day. Okay. However, your crew are well armed and well informed to keep the ship going, and you make it well into the night, and you can hit your bunks. Each of you have your own, like we talked about last time, decorated bunk room. Not large by any means, but certainly comfortable.
How did Benji do?
What does Benji do? Benji spends the day, and I need to talk about what Bula spends the day doing too. Benji spends his day, I think he writes a few letters. I think he writes a letter of resignation from the expedition service that he was working for originally in Bearsrash. He writes a letter to his sister to say, to give her a little bit more of a formal, I'll see you soon, I'll see you later, here's the things I'll be doing, and hopefully the places I'll be going. And he writes to some other just friends and acquaintances he had made along the way in Bearsrash to let them know that he will be out of commission for a bit as far as the Eastern Continent goes. After that, I think he is going to see you all, like, kind of training, studying, doing all these things to improve your skills, and I think it inspires him a bit. He's pretty much been doing the same job for a while, and while it was a challenging job and certainly had him using all of his druid skills, he spends a bit of time sort of honing his druid craft, really helping the crew navigate the Bay of Ilar. He's well familiar with the Bay of Ilar and the rocky waters, so he helps them navigate quite a bit. And I think he probably also helps teach Eidos a thing or two about navigation and survival skills, using the stars specifically, especially at dark. Otherwise, yeah, he socializes with the crew. He helps make lunch. You find him just to be like an incredibly sociable and seemingly likable guy. Like even the more stern and older, wizened crew members are pretty charmed by him. Bula. I think what Bula would do, and everybody can correct me if I'm wrong, knowing Robin, I think Bula probably spends a bit more time learning general ship skills, I think specifically from the captain. Until she does or says something that makes her go below deck and oil her axe for a while.
Oil something else.
I knew someone was gonna say it. I knew it as soon as it came out of my mouth. Yeah, so that's what those two get up to. Yeah, and you guys turn in for the night knowing that come morning you should be making it to the city of Eltes. So everybody can go ahead and do another long rest, heal up those hit points from training, regain those spell slots. And let's keep it rolling. So next morning dawns, everybody wakes up, you see the crew packs up their things. They've been on this ship for entirely too long for some of them, so they are ready to make land and at least stretch their legs on solid ground for a bit. So they all start packing up some of their supplies and things to go landside. A few of them, though, remain on the ship just to stay close and ready to go. So they kind of set up an order of shifts of who's gonna go into Eltes and who will stay with the ship so that it's not unguarded. And eventually, a few hours after sunrise, you all rise and can get ready for your day. And you see, thank goodness, finally, you've been cruising pretty close to the coast, so you've never really lost sight of the coastline, but you finally see the ship turns inland and you see the squat stone, sort of large-walled Eltes city looming out of the woods itself, very near the very rocky shoreline. And what you're seeing is certainly not a port. You didn't spend much time looking ocean ways while you were last in Eltes, but it's not a port so much as a few very, very, very rickety, difficult to upkeep. Like, you can tell they've been kept up, but this is like a set of docks for shallow ocean fishing vessels, not trade vessels. This is not a trading port necessarily. People have come in and used it as a trading port when necessary, but going through the Bay of Ilar is not the safest way to get goods into the eastern continent. So this city, although it is a large city of druids, they're also self-sustaining, so they don't do a lot of capitalistic trading altogether. They don't need much as far as supplies from the outside world. So you are able to, there are docks that will easily accommodate your ship, but they have to be upkept so much because they're just constantly, the docks are like crashing into each other, constantly needing to be retied, refitted, reboarded. The rains have constantly got the wood wearing down, so you can tell that there's people constantly kind of down there doing upkeep on the docks themselves to make sure that fishing ships can come and go as necessary. But you're all able to take the ships in, and you're good to make land if you would like to, unless you have anything else you need to do.
I think we're good to dock.
I think so.
All right. You make your way into the city of Eltes, and everybody go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Ooh.
Seraphine has a 19.
Jillian's got 23.
8.
I got a 5.
Okay, and then Bobby, do you happen to have Bula's character sheet up and handy?
I do not, but let me roll real
Would
quick
we-
and I can get it pulled up.
Let me ask you guys, do you guys want to leave Bula on the ship with Varmox?
Yeah, she can.
You know, keep
Yeah.
watch. Keep an eye
Yeah.
on
Of
things.
course. Yeah, I think she would enjoy some time working under the captain.
Yeah, I think she would be so hesitant and freak out, but I think you guys probably told her to stay on the ship, like, in front of Varmox so that she couldn't refuse too heartily. I think she wouldn't want Maraway to go ashore without her necessarily, but I think she feels a little too awkward to say no, and also definitely wants to stay and spend a little bit of alone time with Varmox if she can.
Well, don't worry, we can just take Benji with us.
Yeah, certainly. Benji will go, and he says, "I'll keep him safe, Miss Bula. Don't you worry." She's like, "I'm worried," but y'all go ahead. Okay. Sorry, excuse me. Okay. Yeah. So I think it was, who were my two high rolls there? It was Dane and Seraphina.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you two, you'd both already kind of been considering, you'd all talked the day before about possibly recruiting some new sailors. So you already are paying more attention this time around to the population. And you all are, but you two specifically note that it is bustling. For a quiet, like nature inspired, calm, peaceful, natural, cyclical community. This place has a very, very festive feeling to it compared to last time, and it is literally more crowded. There's a lot more druids in the city and around the city. Last time you were here, you noted it was a pretty big old stone castle that they had sort of refurbished for their own purposes. This time the community around the castle has just like exploded out into the wilderness, into the woods. There's like, you can see huge bonfire pyres. You see all kinds of different structures being set up in the trees, big treehouse networks that are being built as you speak and as you walk through. And it is just, there's obviously an influx of population here for some reason as you guys come into the city. And it's all druids. You get hefty scents of like patchouli oil and lots of like hookah smoke is being smoked. You can smell the familiar smell of what was it called? Whisper grass. That some of you partook last time. You could see some people are partaking in that again this time around. Lots of festivities, lots of food being cooked. And you see a lot of like animal familiars, wild shaped people, like bears sitting on little stumps, like eating a rack of lamb, like a turkey leg. all kinds of little animal and animalistic creatures running around this time around as well. More so than you saw last time. Where would you all like to head if anywhere specific?
Well, it looks like there's a party in town. We should try to get an invite.
I wonder if there's anything specific that's happening today. Maybe we should ask around, see what's going on.
Just asked the bear eating a rack of lamb. Hey, friend, is there a festival happening today? Oh, sorry, that was very rude.
Points
Thank you.
toward the city center. And then little tiny like halfling woman sitting next to the bear says, "Oh, honey, he said that you can just go on into the city. We it's the first. We're having the first annual Jubilee. We got a whole lot to celebrate."
What do we celebrate? Oh, I guess you said we have a lot to celebrate. You do this every year. Is it just a general celebration, or is it a harvest time? Or...
No, this is the first Jubilee. King Simon called us all in. We're all the Druid circles of Wawasite, and well, we brought news very recently that the curse on the Undying Woods seems to have fallen completely. Everything started renewing itself. All the dead stuff started rotting, and all the living stuff started growing again, and everything stopped being so scary. And so we're celebrating. This is the first anniversary of us getting our land back.
What wonderful news! We're happy to partake.
Where y'all from?
We just got back from the Undying Wood, and you know, all of this is thanks to us, so you're welcome.
She looks you all over. Roll persuasion, because it's true.
Roll brag.
15.
Roll for not at all humble brag. 15. Okay. She looks at you all, and like Benji is like very seriously like nodding and being like confirming, and he is in his like, he's put on like more of his druid garb after knowing he was making land in the druid city. And she looks at him and she's like, "You don't say. Well, that's excellent news. You all need to go tell you go need to tell the first druid. He's gonna be thrilled. I can't believe it. How, you know what? You need to tell that to the whole community. I can't wait to hear that story. Why don't you come and join us tomorrow for the Jubilee, and you could tell us around the campfire what kind of tale that is. It must be good."
Oh my gosh, we would love to.
I can't wait to hear it. And she like elbows the bear who like has gone back to eating the lamb and like wipes his mouth on a big paw and goes big claw thumbs up at you. But those big bear lips just like covered in lamb grease.
Like Marway is gonna like nudge Benji and say, if there's a lot of people looking for homes now and you are looking for people to repopulate your village, this could be a good place to start.
You're not wrong, Mr. Marway. I would imagine my druid circle who trained me is here somewhere as well if they're calling in all the circles. Yeah, they might be a good source of people to start with. People we can trust, at least. Not a bad thought. And he kind of, he looks around. You can tell he's kind of like looking for familiar faces in the crowd.
I poke his arm and give him guidance.
Okay, I'll roll for him. Let's see if he knows anybody here. Oof, that was a 3 on the die. What guidance is a D4?
D4.
He is wise, but not super intelligent. But let's use a wisdom stat for him. Okay, we're at a we're at a solid 9. So he looks around and he's like, you know, I don't see anybody from my circle, so we'll just if we go in the castle and we talk to whoever you guys talked to last time you were here, maybe they'll point me in the right direction, or maybe they haven't gotten here yet.
Would y'all like to go to the castle to see if we can get an audience with the king?
Yes, I think we're very late for our appointment. It's time to go.
Just a wee bit late.
Okay. I won't make you roll for it. You can go into the castle. You've been here before. You even spent the night here last time, so you kind of got a little bit of a way around. And you know where to find the second druid, Henley, who was sort of the person who walked you around and gave you the tour last time. Helped you settle in, and the one with whom Seraphina made the appointment with. So you're able to track down Henley, who is sort of like just directing newcomers who are arriving, talking to them in the sort of like initial garden courtyard, pointing them toward different campsites out around the city so that they can start to settle. And she's really helping direct traffic, as it were. But you can make your way to her, and she sort of in the middle of her conversation, like sees you guys and is like, flags you over. She's saying, yes, so Hollowfang Circle clans can, you're going to be in the camp to the north. I do believe that there's a few caves there that they said they found most comfortable, so please go make yourselves at home. Meal times are at sunrise and dusk, and we have 2 midday meals so that if you miss one, you can come back to the other. So if you don't feel like hunting and gathering yourselves, you're welcome to come into the castle and we will serve you. Thank you. Hello, all. Hello. You've arrived. You're back. You have been out to the tribes of Felt. How did it go?
I would say it was successful. We are here for our appointment with the king. It is I, Seraphina Blackthorn.
Yes, I do remember you. Yes. You did have an appointment with the first druid, so I'd be happy to walk you to him. We're in the middle of preparations, as you can see, but yes, an appointment was promised. An appointment will be kept. I know how the tides of wind can keep us from arriving when we mean to, so
perfect.
Please don't stress about being too late.
I didn't even think about stressing, but yes, thank you.
Oh, good. And she kneels down on one knee to look Glitterbell in the eye and just sort of smiles at her. Then nods and stands back up. All right, please, let's go. She looks at Benji, who I don't believe was with you guys the first time around when you came through the city. She says, hello, I am second druid Henley here in Eltes. You appear to be wearing the garb. Which circle are you? And he says, oh, I'm a Circle of the Wild Crown. So right here. And she was like, oh, excellent. Well, if you need to catch up with your first druid, they should be out near the lake. That's where they're making camp. So when you have time, you're welcome to stop by and say hello. But it appears you are traveling with them. Would you like to also meet the first druid? He's like, yeah. If you're all alright with me joining your little audience, I've always wanted to meet the man.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm with you. Yep, I'll walk with them. And she says, okay, all right, well, follow me, please. And you can see, like, she sort of, like, reaches down as she walks, and tendrils of vines reach up, and she just, like, brushes her finger along them and seems to be, like, communicating something to the ivy and vines that cross the ground in this garden as she leads you. She says, might I ask, I don't recall the nature of your meeting with the first druid. I just want to be sure that it's nothing that will sour the mood of the celebrations, the festivities.
Oh, not at all. We were just here for a meet and greet.
Excellent. Well, that will be easily done. Certainly shouldn't take up too much of his time. And she leads you sort of deeper into the castle, but on the first floor. Leads you like deep into the center. This is a space where you had not been before. And she tells you as you approach, this room is where we typically hold what you might call court in another sort of castle. But it is this like large sort of like glass paned dome. The whole inner part of this castle was like gutted from this section up straight up to the open sky, so that this is a big glass dome in the center of the low squat castle, just with open sunlight. She says, yes, this is the solarium. So where it would have been like a courtroom or sort of a ballroom space back in the old days of this castle, we've fitted it out so that we do still hold when we have to vote on certain issues and topics, when we have to gather all the different circles, this is the space where we do that. So the king is inside. I will be here at the door when you're ready to move along. But you're welcome to head in.
Oh, thank you. Seraphina will wait for her to open the door for her.
She does, graciously.
Seraphina struts in.
Hair toss. Okay, yeah, you see this solarium. It is like the sun coming through the glass. It almost seems like the sun is immediately like broken up into all the different colors. Like it's almost like prismatic rainbow sunlight in here. And it is carpeted with just like tall pollinator grasses that sort of have like natural winding footpaths through it to get to different areas where you can stand or mingle. And it's sort of walled with like low interwoven fruit trees. And you see sort of in one of the lower grassy settings, you can only see the top of what look like locks, like lock braids, sticking up like branches of a tree up over the grass of someone who like is either sitting down or is very like short, but you can hear like voices over there chatting. And you see children, and as you approach you hear this little voice, and you see children. There is nothing quite so useful as the wheatgrass, and he's sort of like giving this little like lesson and doing some druid craft and showing a little group of various children as you walk up how to use this particular species of wheatgrass. And you see his head pop up as you all kind of round a corner in the grasses. And he is this like little gnome man sitting on the ground. And like I said, he has these dark locks that have been sort of like waxed into the shapes of tree branches. He's got like a long beard that looks like it's been like very freshly combed and oiled. It's sort of salt and pepper in color. And he's got just like the most beautiful, like bright, dark, fertile earth brown skin, just like glowingly handsome and well oiled and well kept. And he just like exudes, like he looks like he probably smells like chrysanthemum. And he looks quite friendly. He has like the kindest, warmest eyes as he's talking to these children. And he says, Children, I appear to have a meeting that I forgot from my appointment book. I'm so sorry. Please go join your parents, and I will see you again soon for the Jubilee. And all these children stand up and they gather up a bunch of wheatgrass that they stick in their basket, and they go running out of the room, all kind of laughing and playing tag in the grass. And he stands up and brushes the dust off of himself and extends a hand up to you. First Druid Simit, welcome to my home.
Serafina will reach out and shake his hand and give a little curtsy. Hello, it's so nice to meet you. It's me, Serafina Blackthorn. It's a pleasure.
It's you, Serafina Blackthorn. Do you bring companions? Hello, companions.
Hello, nice to meet your acquaintance. I'm Eidos.
Eidos?
Hello, you may call this one Morroway.
Or what?
And my name is Killian.
Killian, thank you for being here. What may I do for you? We are, as you can see, please forgive all the, sort of construction and mess around the area, but we have a celebration well underway.
Oh yeah, we were just wondering about that. And is the celebration tonight?
I believe the clans will be arriving through the night, and you can see him, like, he stands up and sort of, like, looks over at Henley for confirmation, and she, like, nods. She's sort of standing in the doorway listening. He says, yep, so the last of the circles should be arriving tonight, and we will begin the real festivities tomorrow in the morning.
Oh, perfect. Well, you know, we just got back from the Undying Woods, just saving everybody. And we just wanted to pop in and say hi.
Mother Earth, tell me more about that. I'm sorry. You were in the Undying Wood recently, while it changed.
Oh my gosh, yes, that was just all us.
He just sort of like looks befuddled. Roll another performance check with advantage. Henley is also looking at you, very confused.
I was 16.
And he rolled a nat 20 on insight. He like literally like falls down onto his butt in the grass and just like looks up at you all. It has been longer than any druid remembers that the Undying Wood has been undying. You must have one story to tell. Would you regale an old man with it?
Oh my gosh, well, you know, there was just this figurine and we got rid of it and it's blah blah blah, yada yada yada.
Simple as all that. You'd think we would have figured that one out by now, but sticks and stones can only get you so far. That's what I tell my people.
Well, you didn't have us, but here we are.
Well, it seems our celebration, our Jubilee, has found its guests of honor, if this is all true and correct. That is fascinating and wonderful. Oh, how the winds blow in just what you need when you need it. Please tell me, how did you come about this place? Where are you from?
Well, you know, I'm from Nerdistan. I will let my my friends introduce themselves, or tell you a little bit more about from where they're from.
Yes, I have names, and I see the garb of strange lands far gone. Tell me.
Well, I am from a place called Pravos, and I went to school in Nerdistan with Serafina here.
Can't say I've been.
I come from a place called Sanctuary. It's like a completely different plane, but I've never been to school.
I am quite familiar with some other Fae of, not Sanctuary itself, but, the Fae realms, and I have heard of Sanctuary as being a place for the people. Excellent, good. We have quite a few Fae types that hang out around these woods ourselves.
You do?
You should be sure. Oh, many, yes. You know, Fae are all across the western continent, or the eastern continent. We keep a pristine and untended land, and the Fae love that kind of thing. The chaos really just amps them up and gets them going, and sometimes they're a lot to handle, but they are as much a part of our land and our world as we are. Being of this earth, they appreciate it as we do.
If it's not too much trouble, could you introduce me to one, maybe? It's been a very long time since I've met someone like me.
Oh, sure. Would you like? I don't know that I necessarily know a satyr, but let me sleep on it, and if you come to the Jubilee tomorrow, I'll be sure to find you and introduce you to some of my friends.
I think Marley's just smiling ear to ear now.
As I said, my name is Killian. I hail from Portia, quite a distance away from the eastern continent, but I myself am a member of the Protectorate of Oasis. And my dear friend Seraphina here definitely, she summarized our tale quite splendidly, but I'm curious as to what the Druids are planning with the Undying Woods now that it's been free of its centuries of undeath. Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
Well, part of the Jubilee tomorrow, the purpose, of course, first and foremost, is to celebrate a land freed of unnatural processes, but the second purpose is for the circles to gather and make that very decision. I know what I would recommend we do, but I'm not sure how familiar you are with the workings of Druid circles. Though many call me king, that is simply a colloquial term to help most understand. I am merely first Druid of Eltas. I am merely one of many voices singing in nature. One of many bullfrogs in the pond, if you will. So we will spend very likely many days debating the appropriate next steps for a land now only populated by wild things, it would seem. Can you tell me, perhaps it would help our decision making, are there any peoples who have survived in the Undying Wood all this time?
Is Benji's with us currently, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kim will just point over to Benji and I'll say, well, our associate here, he hasn't introduced himself yet. Or did he? Did he introduce himself?
No.
Okay.
Benji steps forward and says, he's been kind of shy. He kind of like stood back whenever you were all introducing yourselves. Benji says, yes, sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm a little bit, I'm excited to meet you, sir. Sorry, not sir. I know we're all equals. I wasn't born a druid, but y'all certainly raised me up after my home village fell. No one survived in my village, but I'll let them all kind of tell you about what did survive. Sorry, no one but me. I'm not undead or anything. He looks so nervous.
Yeah, Kill will just like kind of pat him on the shoulder, and as Benji was saying, that unfortunately his village in the Undying Woods, he and his sister were sole survivors there, but now that the Undying Wood has been cleansed of this effect, his sister is actually planning on rebuilding and reestablishing their small town in the Undying Woods, and they're looking for willing people to help repopulate the city, maybe make it another kind of foothold in the Undying Woods. And I don't want to speak too much about the politics of building this little township, but if you need a decision, you can reach out to her. Her name is Nomi.
No, you are Benji. I am deeply saddened to hear about the loss of your village. Many, I'm sure, have been lost over the centuries of the curse. And I thank you for sharing your story with me. I will be very happy if it is amenable to your sister to reach out to her if she indeed plans on reestablishing a community. It may very well be one root of many that take hold in that land, and whatever the circles decide to do with the land, it will fall to all of us to ensure that we maintain the sacred balance. Benji nods. That's all we want to do. We want to, we want to be back in the land and taking care of it the way we used to be able to. He says, excellent, good. I will reach out. Thank you again. He says, you yourself though, Sir Killian, you say you're from Cordia?
Yes, that is where I hail from.
Have you been north to Erevetria?
I don't believe I have. And remind me, Kara, is that more the, like, where the primordials and stuff are?
Precisely. So you would know. I don't know if you've been there yourself. You can kind of tell me if you would have traveled there at any point, but it's sort of like, politically, it's sort of a quasi-state of Cordia. The people there, it's like very swampy, so it's very hard to live there in the first place, but the people who did sort of settle there and eventually sort of broke off into their own sort of micro society, do worship the four primordials of Dion.
Yeah, Killian will just answer the first druid saying, I myself have not been there, but I know of the many communities that have established themselves up there. Unfortunately, my duties brought me more south of Cordia.
I am fascinated to meet you, and though perhaps you have not yourself gotten to spend much time with the people there, I would love to myself someday travel that direction and meet those interesting people I've heard so much about. I feel we may have things in common.
And so this Jubilee sounds quite the festival that you're going to have.
Yes, it hopefully will be the first annual. We haven't had reason or means to celebrate much recently, so this is a big win for the Druids. Baby, I'm so excited. He's standing back up at this point and sort of pacing around. He's sort of like idly braiding like long strands of grass as he walks, like grass that is still growing out of the ground. He's just braiding it as he walks around into itself. And he says, we have many plans to celebrate, but I'm sure it will be no different than parties you've been to. There will be much drinking, much smoking, plenty of, companionship of the natural nature, if you will. All the things that people love to do when they are happy, well-fed, and well taken care of. But separately, please know that, though there is not much of a governmental structure, as you may all be used to, we do still follow the laws of nature. We do require that you maintain a certain level of kindness and acceptance and general maintaining a good level of tomfoolery and shenanigans that do not hurt the natural balance of our land or our lives. Barring that, you are welcome to have a great time. We are a free people, we are a kind people, so make yourselves at home, but please don't take advantage, as we have noted many outsiders have in the past.
A party with rules. Okay. All right.
Well, I do apologize. It is, as the first druid, it is my obligation, my responsibility to ensure that people who may not be so familiar with our customs and our ways have solid understanding before they are let loose to enjoy all of the bounty of our home. Otherwise, anything I can do for you all.
I'm just gonna look over to Seraphina. Like, this is you set this up, Seraphina. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. I guess we will see you at the party, and we look forward to being your guests of honor.
Yes. Please speak with the name is Henley on your way out, and if you don't mind being part of the celebration, she really has the order of events for the day today, so speak to her and she'll find a place to fit you in so that you may meet the circles and perhaps tell your tale and or just simply be celebrated as you deserve to be.
Oh, Perfect, perfect. I'm sure we will have plenty of opportunity to chat with you at the party.
Yes, and Sir Marway, please. I'll be sure to find you and introduce you to some perhaps mutual friends.
I very much look forward to it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I must be getting back to it. The children will not teach themselves. Have a good one. He takes off, and you see him just sort of like crawl down into like just like a big old hole in the ground leading out of the solarium. Okay, and Henley sort of opens the doors again and says, so you've met the first druid. Frankly, what do you think of him?
I mean, seems like a nice enough fellow. He seems to care about everyone, the upbringing the children and teaching what he knows. Seems to care deeply about the community and bringing everyone together tomorrow in a safe but jovial event. Nothing but good vibes.
Good, excellent. I worry when outsiders meet him how they may approach his type of leadership, but I'm glad that it reads as welcoming. That's good. Please.
Are you afraid his leadership is going to be perceived?
Well, I have had to help him understand the nuances of the world outside of Wawasite and the Eastern Continent as a whole. You see, things are simpler here, which is in both ways a blessing and a curse. He has, in the past, made some inopportune trade deals with people who a more decisive eye would have recognized as not of the best intentions. Outsiders who take advantage of his generosity. And it's not generosity is what we need in a leader for a druid circle, but outsiders will take advantage, as he may have implied.
I understand that outsiders may not follow the same rules of conduct that he might expect from people who spend their time here. It's truly unfortunate.
If he could, he would literally give you his shirt, pants, and breeches. So, thank you for not asking that of him.
We hear
Jesus, so, go on.
we have nothing but the best intentions, and we look forward to celebrating with you.
Yes, as it sounds, you had quite the adventure. Last I saw you, you were on your way further east to meet with the Leonins, but you seem to be one fewer Leonin, one gained Furbold, and a curse lifted like it was nothing. So
We have been pretty busy.
Clearly, I think I can understand why you missed your appointment. I am dying to know how you did it. What was the curse?
Well, as it turned out, initially we were sent here from Nerdistan on a research expedition, and that's how we came into contact with Benji. And during our investigation, going deeper and deeper into the Undying Woods, seeing the effects of the Undying Woods firsthand, clearly there was something amiss there. And after a few days of travel into the Undying Woods, thankfully none of the researchers or any of our party were lost to the woods' beguiling influence. We stumbled across a clan of Yuan Ti that were present in the Undying Woods. Perhaps you're familiar with that large tower that kind of was very prominent in the Undying Woods.
Yes, I hear it has become even more visible now that that sort of fog has been lifted. But yes, I have seen it myself last I visited Varus Rash.
Well, the UNT had made their home around the base of that tower, and some of the UNT even occupied it. After a lengthy investigation, it was discovered that there was a cursed idol there that had been cursing the woods with this undeath for quite a few centuries. Some say some of the residents of the UNT mentioned that it even lasted since the Dionic Wars, so many centuries, and it was quite unfortunate, but we did destroy that cursed idol, and in the process, the magical effect that it had on the UNT, sustaining their longevity, had disappeared along with the destruction of the idol. And when the idol was destroyed, the curse was lifted. And here we are. That's the story.
An idol. What was the nature of the idol? The object that needed destroyed? Was it... was it infernal? Was it abyssal?
It seemed to... It was quite the powerful relic, and it seemed to have traces of celestial magic to it.
Fascinating. A celestial curse. Huh. Interesting. Well, thank you for sharing. Well, you have certainly changed the plans for the future of all of our people, not just in Wawasite, but across the continent, I'm sure, perhaps across the world. That is a large strip of fertile and now, for many centuries, undiscovered land. So, who knows what else might be out there. And that will bring many people to our coast. And I both look forward to and greatly fear how that will affect all of us. But change is a blessing. And we are ready.
And I feel as though your counsel will be needed for the first Druid there, given his nature and the greed that is out there in the world.
Yes, I do fear we have never presented ourselves as a strength of force, and truly the only thing that ever stopped all of this land from being settled and from the Druid circles to losing control of the continent as a whole in the first place was that land was so cursed, and there's not an easy way to get to where we are. The Bay being not a great option, and the North being quite frigid and unwelcoming. It will be interesting to see how we manage any sort of potential claims on the land that many of the Druids don't feel belongs to anybody, whether that be us or any other claimant. Political machinations are not our strongest suit. We hope that by presenting as welcoming and community-minded that others will rise to meet the occasion.
Well, as a follower of Oasis myself, having a strong community is definitely the way to build bridges with other continents, other cities, other leaders.
I cannot agree more. Nature only thrives when it is well-fed and well-maintained. And that is what we will do for our people in this land. Anyway, to the brass tacks. We have a party to plan. So, the order of the day tomorrow. These things typically are maybe a bit less scheduled, so much as sort of flowing with the crowd. But typically, when we do have great gatherings of all the circles, we usually start it off with a few sort of silly old traditions, the old ways. Specifically, I would like you all to know ahead of time. You're going to hear quite a bit of sort of religious rites that are not necessarily directed to the gods, specifically the celestial gods. While many do worship Aelia or Geisha, many keep the old ways and still give thanks to the primordials. So that is not always smiled upon by those who follow the gods, and I do understand that, but I do hope you will keep an open mind as we celebrate and give thanks to the natural world that we live in. Regardless, it's all fun. You're not going to see any, human sacrifices, animal sacrifices. You'll see a few celebratory contests, some different dancing and celebrations, all the typical things people like to do. But you're welcome to participate in any of them. We have a few challenges of skill, which might be a great way to introduce you to the circles themselves. If you all were able to not only get to that tower in the Undying Wood, which as far as I know is not a feat anybody else has accomplished before you, but we're able to break that curse and get out of the Undying Wood unscathed, it would appear. I'm sure you could handle a little bit of a beastly challenge. But if you're not interested, no pressure. But is there anything else you're all interested in doing to introduce yourself to the community, or are you trying to maintain a lower profile? We will do what you find comfortable.
Okay. Put a drink in my hand, and I'm here for the entire party.
Oh, rude of me. She reaches into some hedges that are growing in the hallway that you're walking down. Even the interior of the castle is covered in plant life, animal life. She reaches into the plant life and waits a moment and comes out with wooden mugs of different alcoholic drinks. She's like, we have here, I think this is probably an ale. That smells like a rosé.
Ooh, thank
rosé over, and just these hand carved wooden mugs, and hands over some drinks. This one is maybe a honey mead of some sort. Blackberries, notes of blackberries. Yes. So here, of course, we have the bounty of nature at our fingertips, and hands you out some drinks.
New trick, thank you.
We ask, the world provides. Anyway, thoughts? Would you like to give a speech to the people? Would you like your story shared?
I think that Seraphina, would you like to give a speech? You do love public speaking, so.
I would love to. Everybody wants to hear me talk.
She will give a great speech. A lengthy
Roll insight. You all can. You're all there.
Yeah.
If you want to.
3.
16.
Natural 1.
Insight, where are we? That's 13.
Everybody wants to hear us talk.
Marway, are you rolling?
Oh, I said 16.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch you. Okay. Yeah, Marway, you're the only one who notes. You've been kind of watching all of these interactions, and she doesn't make eye contact with Seraphina almost at all throughout any of these conversations. She looks at the rest of you in the eyes as she walks.
Is she the one that Glitterbell has a secret with?
Yes. She's not being unfriendly. You can clock that she is not by any means being unfriendly. She's speaking to Seraphina as much as she's speaking to the rest of you. She just won't look her in the eye. And I think Seraphina is just breezing around, too happy to notice.
Drinking my
She's proud of herself. Yeah. she says, well, that would be wonderful, Lady Seraphina. Would you like to begin the festivities or end the festivities, perhaps, with your speech, with your toast?
Maybe at the end, just to end with a sparkle.
She writes it down. She's been carrying around like a board and some parchment that she obviously has been kind of keeping the day schedule and where things are and who people are reporting to for different parts of the day and the gathering. And it's like, okay. Sorry, did you say end of day or beginning of day?
Oh, at the end of the day.
Okay, I will pencil you in. Let's do that at typically after everything is said and done, the party tends to gather in the solarium where we just met with the first druid. So if that's amenable to you, we usually have a dais set up in there by then. So that's where all the feasting and drinking really winds down as the night goes on. So if that's amenable, we will do that. Otherwise, I will show you all to some rooms, to some accommodations for tonight. As I've told you, the Druid circles are all out in their various camps. So for today, it is still relatively early in the morning. You have all day to make yourselves at home here. Please explore, meet some of the locals. They'll all be happy to have a drink with you, have a meal with you. Or if you prefer, spend a day in the quiet. And she just kind of leads you up into the castle, up into one of the low towers, and takes you to I think last time you guys were here, you stayed in the barracks. She takes you to some nicer rooms that seem to have been sort of reserved for different dignitaries coming to the gathering. And she says, I heard word while you were all meeting with the first druid that you all arrived by ship. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you have a crew who need accommodations?
Well, I'm sure some of the crew would love to get off of the ship for a little while, but I don't know about Varmox. I feel like he's quite comfortable on the ship.
Certainly. If you would prefer, I could ask, and she sort of flips through her paperwork. She says, I believe the Petal Guard are the circle who made their camp closest to the docks, so they are always very happy to have guests. So if you would like, unless they would like to stay in the castle with you, you could tell them they're welcome to ask the Petal Guard. I'll send a head word, and she sort of brushes her finger over just like a potted plant nearby. I'll send word ahead to the Petal Guard that they may have guests and that they can set up some tents for them, so that they can rotate in if they wish, or they are welcome to stay on the ship, but that will keep them in sight of your ship so that they don't have to make the trek up the hill.
Perfect. I think that's a great idea.
Most amenable. Thank you.
Of course. I will leave you to it. I will mostly be in the outer courtyard if you need me, so you know where to find me, but otherwise, please make yourselves at home, wander the grounds, wander the woods, have a hunt if you prefer. And we will see you. Just please do not kill anybody's familiars. If you're going to eat meat, just make a mental note of the people around you, please. She says, I'll leave you all to it. And it kind of gives you all keys to your rooms, to your individual rooms.
Ooh. Well, it was quite the nice reception that we got. And it just really just took us at our word. That we did everything we said.
Yeah, I mean, this time it has the benefit of being true, but they do seem to be the kind of people who will believe anything we tell them. You might remember that for your speech tonight or tomorrow, Seraphina.
Oh, that is a good tip.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Yeah, I won't make you roll for it. You can all tell, these are innocents in the way that only people who aren't bombarded with outside activity all the time can be. They're innocent and they are gullible because they have faith that people are good.
Oh no.
It's a happy way to live, but they've got you already know there's a storm coming of people trying to settle unclaimed land.
Yeah, that Undying Woods is gonna cause quite the issue for these druids here. soon as cultivation and civilization decide to rear their heads here.
Do we know that they were run off the land before the curse came down, or before the wars happened? Did that used to be like Druid territory?
The roll a history check. You can all, if you would like to, roll with advantage because you've all been here a while. You may have already started asking around about these things.
All the wilderness is the Druid's home.
Well, that's not good. I got a 23 though.
23 is pretty good.
Let Eidos have that one.
Sure, okay. Yeah, so, generally the history of specifically Undying Wood, it was initially settled, or this land was sort of discovered after the Dionic War by Lena Myrna herself. So Lena Myrna, you know, is a sort of like country, a kingdom on the middle continent, near like Thrasnulum, where you all started this whole adventure. To Zenkin. But Lena Myrna is now a large community, but it was settled by this explorer, this human explorer woman, Lena Myrna, who discovered the sort of skipstones, this set of islands leading out east from the middle continent, and a very easy crossing for people sailing to the eastern continent. The continent, by the time Lena Myrna landed, it was on the very southern tip of the peninsula, where the Undying Wood covers a major chunk of that peninsula. So, like, essentially they were like landlocked by ocean on one end of the peninsula and the Undying Woods, so they couldn't really travel much further. So the very tip of the peninsula that the Undying Wood is on, the very tip of it is Lena Myrna territory, as are the skipstones, the islands in between. So there are settlements on the very end of that peninsula already that are like more human, more capitalistic, more trading, but like not a lot, because there's not a lot to be done just on the tip of a peninsula, really. But then you have the Undying Wood, which by the time Lena Myrna discovered it, was under the curse already. It was after the Dionic Wars. And then the remainder of the eastern continent, sort of Zada's homelands, all further east, those are all populated by like old, like not necessarily before the Dionic War, some before the Dionic War, like the UNT, but old communities of all kinds of different races of people who were also there. Some of them claim to have been there from before the Dionic War, but the Dionic War was sort of a cataclysmic ending of world populations kind of war. So that's kind of the history of the region that you would know. So it is unclaimed insofar that like it has been under this curse since people were still discovering and spreading and colonizing.
So, with all that in mind, yeah, these people are doomed. That place is going to be eaten up.
And once the researchers go back to Nerdistan, I'm sure the news that the Undying Woods' curse that's broken will attract many from the middle continent here.
I wish there was some way for us to speak to some higher, I don't know, or some group, not a high power, you know what I mean, where we could protect that land from would-be settlers looking to capitalize off of it. Such is the nature of progress, I suppose.
But Marway, the first druid, saying that there's other individuals like yourself here. That's quite exciting.
It is. I didn't even know that other Fae would come here, but here we go. And I guess now we're going to get to go see more people like me and someone who's not going to think that I'm crazy.
We don't think you're crazy at all. Not even the slightest.
Of course not.
I wonder what they're like. I'm quite interested to see what other people from the Fae realm act like. Well, we were given kind of the whole castle to explore. Is anyone up for a little bit of an adventure?
Let's do it. Free
Let's
drinks.
snoop
They don't
around.
believe in Lux. Let's explore.
All right. As you guys kind of unpack your things in your rooms and decide to head out into the castle, let's take a very quick, 15-minute break. So we will come back at about 9:55 Eastern Time, 8:55 Central Time. So come back in about 15. We'll be back. We'll keep playing this silly little game. Let's see what's going on with these druids. Stick around. See you in a minute.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Hello, welcome back. Right
Oh,
now,
no.
you might notice that all of our pictures are really jumbled, and you're looking at my tits a little bit. But we are not. We are simply on a new software for our video, and during the last bit of it, we realized that not all of us were as crisp as Dane. Whereas if we could see pores on him if he had them, but he doesn't, so we couldn't. But now we can all be crisp. We're just having to reorganize everything now that we've gotten it set up.
There's two Marways now,
oh my
Sarah.
I know.
Loving
There's
this.
two me's.
This is great.
Give me a break.
Here, I'll introduce
So we
everybody
have
to my
Dane
cat.
working so fast right now trying to get our pictures where they're supposed to be, because on OBS the only way that we could change it is if we were actually on that segment. So here we are, but we're going to turn it over to Kara's cat.
This is Fry. In the interest of
Hi.
killing time, we've got a little bit of an ear infection that no veterinarian has been able to figure out, so I really wish Robin was here so she could diagnose him.
He's a cute
But
guy.
he's extremely cute and happy. He's just my good time guy. He's my sweet cheese, my rotten soldier. And I normally lock the cats out when I'm playing D&D because they do demand attention, but this is a good time for him to get some lovin'.
Kara, I want to know how you braided your hair by yourself because I have such a hard time.
I
braiding my
did teach
own
myself.
hair.
I did teach myself how to braid my own hair when I was younger, so
Yeah.
I can do a French braid. But
Yeah.
and now I know how to do both kinds of braid. Like what is the upside down one? The Dutch braid, where it looks like you just glued on a braid. You know what I mean? Where you just do it upside down. I can only do that kind of braid on other people because it's upside down. So if I try to braid someone else's hair, it always comes out as an upside down braid and not as a normal French braid. But yes, I did braid it myself. Thank you. I always have trouble
What are your, yeah.
getting my strands all the same width, so I always have to redo it a couple times.
Oh, yeah. There's always a skinny one, and you're like, oh.
Yes. Yeah. And my hair is very layered in a way that I cut it myself. So not good even layers by any means. So as I go down, I lose a lot of density. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah. I
You
did
need to
this one. I
teach me. I
cheated. I
can
put a
do,
ponytail at the bottom.
I can do them on the side and then down, but fully behind me, it's just not happening.
Yeah,
It's
that's
Like,
a
I do
skill,
braids
Kara.
all the time, but I can do loose braids. I can't do attached braids.
I have a lot of trouble doing the side French braids. I can never get them in the same place. Like one will be up here going straight back and the other will just go straight down the side of my head. So that's a skill I don't quite have down yet.
Yeah, I could just do side because I can look at it, and then behind me, I'm I don't know what's happening. But
Yeah.
it looks like we're all looking nice and crispy on
did
that
Nicely done,
picture.
Dane. Yeah, it
So
does
Good
look
job,
good.
Dane. Everyone give
was-
kudos to Dane in the comments. We love him.
I was away from the camera when you guys figured this out, but I'm gonna have to hear about how you did it because that looks beautiful. Okay, so let's get back into this thing. Okay, so before we left, you guys were about to go explore Druid King Simmons' castle, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Tell me, what are you trying to do here? Are you trying to go talk to people, or are you trying to snoop around, get into the secret places?
Ooh, snoop around, get into the secret places.
I don't think Killian's gonna do that. He's gonna let you can go have your fun, Seraphina. Killian's gonna go out to the courtyard, and just walk around, chat with people, see what the happenings is.
Ados is reading all the plaques. He wants the historical markers. He wants to learn about where this castle came from. If he's exploring a castle, he's going to be taking notes about architecture, just really touristing it up.
Okay. Seraphina,
I
Maraway, who are you going with?
I think Maraway is going to be a little bold and see if Benji wants to like tour the gardens or something.
Oh, I would love to. That sounds fun. Okay. So it sounds like we're doing a 4-way split here, or is anybody doing this together? Besides Benji, who's going with Marway.
We're splitting the party.
Absolutely, and I'm going to kill you all for it.
Okay, at least I brought back up.
I have
Okay.
Clarabelle.
Okay, let's start with Snoopy McSnoop Pants Seraphina. Okay, so I'm gonna give you like split directions here. Do
Okay.
you want to go east or west down your current hallway?
I will go west.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, that was the right choice. The other way would have
It
definitely
feels
led
like
to a very angry troll. Okay, you come to a spiral staircase, and this castle is old. Like, these are old passageways. It is well kept now and is just covered in plant life on the floor that you're on, where you guys' rooms were. But you come to a spiral staircase. You are on like probably the 3rd floor, and this castle, even the tower that you're in, like this more like living space tower, is not very tall. It's like maybe six floors. The castle is very wide, lots of different short, stout towers and buildings. Not so much tall. So you're on like maybe the 2nd floor, so you could
Okay.
go up or you could go down. And it would appear as you peer down, it goes down further than 2 floors, as if there is a basement. Or it goes up to the floors above you, and the way down looks more well tread. The way up looks less worn on the stairs. Which way would you like to go?
I will go up.
Okay, going up.
The road less traveled.
Yes.
Okay, you go upstairs. You come to a hallway that you can go either left or right. If you go right, it looks like it splits again to where you have a left and a right option. If you go left, you cannot even see the end of the hallway. It's not lit. Oh, sorry. Which floor did you get out on? You went up, but how far? All the way to the top?
I will. Ooh, yes. Let's go all the way to the top.
It's a lot of cardio for Seraphina.
Yeah, she's huffing it. She has to take Glitterbell out for a walk. Or WNK.
Do you have Glitterbell with you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. She's sniffing around too. Okay, you go to the 6th floor. Like I said, one hallway, you can go all the way down and it splits at the end. The other hallway goes so far down and then like it seems to like kind of curve along the edge of the tower, but it remains one hallway as far as you can see. There are doors that you could see at the end of the hallway that splits to your right. The hallway to your left has no doors. Just keeps going until it curves away.
I'm gonna go down the left where there's no doors and it's like curved.
Okay. Okay, you follow this hallway and it goes around a good distance. Like, this is a wide, squat tower, and you seem to have come to like maybe an outer wall, the way it starts to curve to sort of follow what would be like a natural tower wall. There are no windows though, so do you have dark vision?
I do not, but Glitterbell does, and I can see through her eyes as
Cool.
we're walking
okay, so
along.
you warg into Glitterbell to help guide you.
Yes.
So yeah. So at that point, doing that helps. You can see after like maybe 4 minutes of walking alone down this hallway, you don't pass another person, but you do eventually see like the light of a few windows from further down the hallway, and before those windows, a few doors appear on like the inside part of the curve, so leading into the tower. Would you like to go in a doorway, or would you like to go all the way down to where like the windows are?
I'm gonna go in the doorway.
Okay. Try the first door, or are you trying the first or the second door?
I'll try the first door.
Okay. It appears locked.
Damn it, Kelly.
You son of a...
Do you have anything you can do to try and get through the door?
Can I like peek through the keyhole?
Yes. Yeah, you peek through the keyhole, and it is light, and like there's a few, you can tell there's windows inside that lead to the outside of the tower, which doesn't make sense because this door is on the inner wall of what you would perceive to be the outside of the tower. So it's not like you're on the outer edge of this big round tower, but it looks like daylight is inside. And it looks like a bunch of furniture covered in like white sheeting, but it like is a big room. Like you see some pieces of furniture across covered in sheeting. And you kind of try and peer around. Roll a perception check.
14?
14, okay. You're peering through this keyhole, and you can see, like, it's clearly sunlight and not a different kind of light, because you can kind of see there's like tree leaves, like the shadow of tree leaves on the wall, sort of moving, rustling a little bit. The shadow's kind of the light is moving, if you kind of can picture that. So clearly there's some kind of windows, and perhaps like the inner part of this tower is like hollowed out, essentially. Which would make sense, as being sort of a gardening community.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and the floor looks dusty. I think that's what you'll see on that 14.
Okay. I think I'm gonna try the second door.
Okay. You try the second door. You note that the handle doesn't turn, but you can tell the lock and the thing, like the handle is like broken. And so with a good enough strength check, you should be able to like pop open that door if you wanted to try. Or you can try and like shove something in to like get some leverage or something. Or you can have Glitterbell try.
Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure Glitterbell's stronger than I am.
throw Glitterbell at the door. She'll get it.
You could get out some like rope and like tie it around that handle and get her to pull or something.
Okay. I will... Oh my gosh. I think Glitterbell and I will both together try to pull the door open. Or push the door open?
Sure. So you can like roll with advantage on whoever's stats you want. So you're going to do a strength check on this. And you're going to do it with advantage since you're helping each other. So if you wanted to use Glitterbell's strength, you can, but you'll roll a d20 and add whoever's strength modifier. Roll it twice and take the higher.
Okay. Okay, how do I add her modifier? Let me see. Okay, here we go. Okay, oh no.
Not so strong?
Oh no, why are we both negative? I guess
Oh boy.
It's a 6.
Okay, yeah, you guys try and try, but the door handle like completely pops off, but the locking mechanism is still kind of in place. You'll have to try something else to get that little locking bolt out.
Okay. Can I peer inside, like the other door?
Yeah. So now that
peer
the whole
through the
handle has
lock?
popped off, there's like a pretty good like chunk
Nice.
of the door that's just out where the
Nice.
handle and the brass like mechanism was. You can like look through. Yeah, you see this would appear to be like you can really look and see like all the walls in this room except for the one that the door is on, but you see that it is indeed like rounded wall on the other side, sort of convex, and it has a double set of glass doors, one of which appears to have been like broken at some point, like broken in. And but you see like a tree branch had like fallen through and broken it. You do see like tall trees outside, like the tops of trees sort of out there, and that there's like a patio situation outside, and the patio continues sort of along in either direction further than you can see. But you do see these big glass doors, one of which is broken with a tree branch through it. It also has what look like a couch and a few love seats that are covered with white tapestries or like white sheeting. You see like a writing desk. This appears to be like an old like sitting room that is just not used up here. But it has like balcony doors and a long balcony overlooking what appears to be some sort of outdoor space in the center of this tower.
Okay. I will
And you can see
step inside.
You can see the wall on the side of the door that you were trying to get in, the first door. There's a set of like double doors in between or on that wall, which you would presumably, based on spatial awareness, would lead into that room with the locked door.
Okay. I'm gonna Misty step inside.
Okay.
And check things out.
Okay, cool. Go on in. Roll for investigation and tell me where you're gonna be looking around. You got like a writing desk. You've got what looks like an art easel and some old canvases leaning up against a wall. You've got the couches, and you've got like the bedroom doors, and then there's the balcony.
I'm like really snoopy, so I'm gonna look at the writing desk to see if there's any like letters.
Okay. You go ahead and roll. What was your investigation roll?
18.
18, very good. Okay, you find, a bunch of letters here. Like, you find, like, an actual, like, letter box, and it is just, like, you had to, like, take the sheet off the desk, and even though that sheeting was sort of put here protectively, and you pulled open this drawer and found this letter box, the box isn't locked, but everything is like just caked in like dust. Like it feels like almost like oily to the touch. You know how like very old things that have been sitting for a long time just kind of feel wet but dusty at the same time. It is like that. Like the box itself is very like it's wood, but it's like all of the wood has peeled and is starting to sort of crack and come apart. It's an old and not ever touched letterbox. You want to get in on in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna like crack it open. I'm just gonna start reading.
Okay. Roll for me a sleight of hand because these letters, as you open the lid of the box, which in itself is quite dilapidated and old, these letters are on the oldest parchment you have ever seen.
No.
Like to the point where like you almost don't want to breathe on it. But a lot of the ink still appears to be readable because it was protected from the elements in this like cedar box.
Okay.
So you just have to be so careful as you start to take them out because they will like disintegrate in your hands if you're not careful.
Okay, so I did roll a 13.
Okay. That's decent. That'll do it. It was just a 10 DC. Be very conscientious as you move it around. You won't get all the information, but you'll get a good amount of it. So these appear to be letters between someone who signs their name Duke Renaud Paramenti. And they are dated in a way that does not make any sense. They are dated in a way that roll a history check for me.
16.
16. Okay. They are dated from before the Dionic Wars.
Wow.
Yeah. The way they're dated, like the year specifically, you're like, these are so old, it wouldn't make sense for them to be dated in this year. Like, this is only however many years ago. And then you think, oh, this is like before. Like, you would know from school that there are essentially like two eras. There's like the era after the war and the eras before the war. And time, dating systems, calendar systems were reset at that war because it was a cataclysmic society-ending event. So you guys the calendar restarted at 0 after the war. The Accordance era is what you're currently living in. These are Dionic era from before. So, you realize these are, not only are they interesting to look at and to hold, and probably the oldest thing you have ever held in your hands, these are worth an obscene amount of money. They you are flipping through them, and the further you go, the more like pristine they still are. And I don't want to say pristine like they're pristine. I mean, the better kept they are, the more they've held on a lot of their information. And they're a little salacious. Some of them.
Ooh,
a lot of them appear to just be like a lot of them appear to just be like business transaction letters, different receipts for trade, normal Duke stuff. But there's like, you find like a set of letters that are all like sort of tied with a ribbon together, and the ribbon itself has like a little old like turns to dust the minute you try and untie the ribbon rose that just like poofs away the minute you untie it. But it was like tied with a flower in the ribbon, and they are all addressed either to or from a woman called Lady Lulicia. And some of these reference her husband and his wife, but mostly they reference crazy sex positions that they've tried together. And they're salacious and juicy, but there's a wealth of historically relevant letters here that to certain historians or even to certain scientists would be immensely valuable, just for the knowledge of what the world was like before the war, when so little survived.
Ooh, okay. So I think Seraphina is gonna like take notes on like some of the things that she read, including all the crazy sex positions.
Okay, you can take some time today. It'll take you a bit, especially with how careful you have to be, but you can take out your own notebook and like almost like word for word try and write down.
Yeah, I will transcribe.
Yeah.
All the hot details.
Perfect. Okay, I'll leave you to that for a little bit. Let's flash over to let's do Killian next. What was your plan for the day again? You were going to go talk to the people?
Yeah, I was gonna kind of like head out in the courtyard. Seeing how today's kind of just a day to relax more so than anything, just in preparation for the party, things like that. Dylan will go around and kind of just see where he can help out. Just kind of offering services. He hasn't done some community service in a little while. We kind of just sort of destroyed a whole community a little bit. So he's feeling like he's got to, balance the scales a little bit there. So he's going to go and help out. And then eventually, we'll round about, he wants to find the Druid Henley, who is usually in that outer courtyard.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you want to do your sort of community service first, or you want to find Henley first?
Yeah, we'll do the community service first.
Okay. You can head on out. Go ahead and roll. You can roll like investigation if you're just gonna kind of approach it that way, or you can roll like persuasion or like a charisma skill to just kind of ingratiate yourself with some of the druids out here working.
Yeah, I'll do persuasion just to kind of get in the druids' good graces. And that's gonna be 23.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, you head out, and with that 23, you're able to quite quickly get a lay of the land at the very least, or like the lay of the social landscape, if you will. You already spoke to Henley a little bit earlier about the different circles of druids that are here, and the circle who lives specifically at Eltes and in the surrounding woodland, the people who are here year-round, not just the people who are here for the Jubilee, they are the circle of the Wild Crown, and they're going to be the first people that you're able to meet, like, while you get out into sort of the local community. This is also Benji's circle. He mentioned this is the circle who trained him once his home was burned and he landed here in Eltes, having escaped that as a child. This circle of druids took him in and raised him. Yeah,
so they're not like a seclusionary kind of like druid circle, like they'll take in people, or is it more like and maybe I can like learn about this just as I'm discussing it with them, but like they're willing to like take in displaced people and kind of train them in their ways or things like that.
Yeah, one of them says you're talking to, let's say you're talking to Ariadne. She is one of these such druids. She says, yeah, we take in all kinds. I mean, we don't get a lot of travelers who need taken in, but we certainly don't have a closed gate community here. We are open to anybody who can find a way of living with the land here. And well, it's good. We're quite a secluded community out here, especially after, well, during the curse itself. Because we don't get a lot of visitors, it can be well, you know, you end up cousins with everybody if you're not careful. Luckily, we have a lot of land here in Wawasite, and the circles do share people quite a bit, but even so, it's hard to be a little bit more secluded. So we also take in a lot of people who come from the Far East, like the grasslands, and people from the north, from the other communities in the area. So, but yeah, we are open to visitors as long as they accept our ways. They don't even have to necessarily do any druidic practices, though it helps when you're living out here to have those skills.
And you know, with the opening up of the Undying Lands to the general public, have your specific circle talks about plans for that, or is that something that is a like steep competition with other druid circles? Is that a thing amongst druid communities?
Competition, no, we have, Wawasite is quite a wide amount of land. Even without the Undying Wood, we all have a good amount of space. It helps that, the circles are themselves smaller communities within a community, and they're circles within circles. We ourselves don't feel much competition as far as land and resources go, because we all agree, being a part of the Wawasite circle as a whole, everybody takes what they need and not more than that, and gives what they can and no more than that. So even with this new land that has potential, there's not a need for us to have more land. We're not exactly experiencing overpopulation or anything like that.
So it sounds as though it's going to be almost an equal sharing of these new fertile lands for the circles to kind of share amongst themselves.
Yes, I hope so. I mean, there can be a little bit of friendly competition for things like this, but certainly those who feel like they have an adventuring and exploring spirit will make their way out there, and they'll very likely form their own circle. The circles are made more via necessity and proximity than anything. There's not a lot of differences between us except for where we lay our roots. So very likely, if I had to guess, and I'm not a member of the council itself, though they do take all of our input for things like this, but if I had to guess, I would think that there's going to be at least one or two new circles that are created because of this opportunity in the space itself. And it's the land that tells the circle what they are and who they are, not the other way around. They won't know that they're a circle until whatever necessity the land needs is presented.
Well, that's interesting. I never knew how druidic circles were formed, how these little communities would blossom from nothing. That's interesting to know that it's the kind of the land that chooses, you know, what your circle will be.
Yes, yeah, at least in Wawasite, that's how we live. And I know, I believe I've met a few travelers from the farther east, and they I think they kind of are the same way, maybe a little bit more competition because they're not living quite so, the land that they're on doesn't provide as much as ours does, right? Which just breeds competition and strife between people, between different communities, and causes people to feel a little bit more envious of what others have and go into warring ways to get it. So we're lucky enough not to have that. And really, even outside of Wawasite, the borders on this continent are not what I understand the borders on the other continents to be. They're much more flexible and more based on geographical differences in the land than anything.
Yeah, as soon as people start laying claim to the land, it gets very you lose the sense of community quite quickly, as people are very protective of what is theirs, and that does not seem to be the case here in Wawasite.
Yeah, we're lucky we have abundance here. This particular land has proven fertile and kind to us, and we raise our children to give it the respect it deserves so that it can keep being so. And we're all a little bit concerned, I guess. I haven't talked. It's only been, gosh, we just found out about the curse falling so recently, but the birds came a-calling as soon as it happened. So, I'm sure there's a little bit of stress, even in myself and in my friends, about others coming in and pushing up on the cliffs of Varus Rash and what that might do to us as a people. But like everything, they're gonna need us to teach them, at the very least, how to live here.
I agree. It can be a rather treacherous terrain living here, given all the, the brief geographical biomes that I've seen just in my short time on the eastern continent here.
Oh, you have you traveled out further?
Well, we did go to the home of the Redmane tribe. We traveled out eastward that way.
Oh, you've been all over the place. You been up north in the snows?
No, not that far. But hopefully we don't have to go there. But
yeah, it's a little harder living up there. I wouldn't go. It's not exactly a vacation destination by any means.
I think our trek through the Undying Woods was more than enough.
I can imagine. Speaking of which, you seem capable and competent. You want to come on this hunt and help us get some food in for the feast tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. What are we hunting?
All right, well, first of all, I should ask: do you hunt and eat meat? I shouldn't ask of just anybody. You're welcome to go hunt mushrooms if you prefer.
No, I do partake in meat.
Yeah. So we'll hunt. Up here, we've got some elk if we go north of the city. So I planned on hunting some elk, getting some venison. There's some wild boar if we're lucky. We'll catch some of them. But we got to do population control like anybody. So we got to go hunt some meat for the feast tomorrow and keep that population moving.
I know an orc lady that could eat a whole boar to herself. So I'll have to make sure to get one specifically just for her.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's get mounted up. And she offers you a horse, but I imagine you're gonna summon Casimir.
Yeah, just right in front of her. Just just like the celestial, the celestial, just little starlight comes right out of my eye, and then just, phew, there's Casimir.
She says, "Well, I've seen a lot of different animal summons and animal companions, but they ain't nothing I've seen like that. So this is about to be one hell of a hunt. Let's get going." And she and a few other druids mount up, and you ride out of the city. Let's do a survival check for you, for tracking and hunting.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome to kind of to fudge this a little and give me a different stat if you prefer.
No. I'm gonna do. I will use guidance on myself though.
Cool, go for it.
All right. Oh, it's bad. What's bad? What? I'm gonna use my heroic inspiration to reroll.
Might as well.
All right, slightly better. Hold on, I'm gonna add a D4 to this. Okay, so 13 survival.
13. Okay, and with her 18 and the help of the other hunters here, you are able to pick up the tracks of what look to be like some sort of hooved animal of some sort, like a smaller hooved animal, and you end up on the trail of a sizable herd of deer with a good amount of like pretty big bucks within it. You also see some wild turkeys along the way during the day. I'll let you choose. Would you like to take some shots at the turkeys or at the deer?
I'm gonna go for the deer.
Okay. So they're gonna have a slightly lower AC because they're a little bit bigger and easier mark to hit. But you'll have to roll a stealth roll to get close enough.
Okay.
And the DC will be a little bit lower on that.
Ooh, okay. It's only gonna be 11.
Okay, that's enough. So you are able to approach within firing range, and you can go ahead and roll an attack roll to see if you can bring down one of the bucks.
What am I shooting with?
You tell me. They will offer you a short bow if you prefer. You could just find a regular +1 short bow stat. Or you can use one of your weapons. They will let you choose. You appear to know what you're doing.
All right, I feel like the pistol's not a good choice in this matter, so I'm gonna go with. I'll use their.
Yeah, they're not unused to technology. They don't use it themselves, but they would let you if you wanted.
I feel like a loud kind of flintlocky type pistols probably not the best for hunting. I'll just use the short bow that they'll provide me, and if it's
that's just gonna be a +1 short bow. Yep.
Oh, okay.
I can look up that stat for you if you need.
I'm assuming it's my dexterity modifier.
Yep.
So that is going to be +8, and that's going to be a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, and then that's just a d6. 4 plus. It's 4 plus 6, so 10 piercing damage.
Okay. Cool, that's perfect. With your high enough hit and that damage, you put the bow, or you put the arrow like right in its head, so that you get a nice clean kill. Quick drop. And they're impressed. They nicely done. And as you shoot that one off, before the herd can run away, a few of the druids pick off a few more of the herd before they all take off away. You have a deer. Is there any other? They're pretty satisfied with this haul to bring back for the afternoon. But do you feel like you still want to keep hunting?
I do want to try get one more creature if I can.
Sure. Okay. Roll me another survival check with advantage this time.
Oh.
Because you're getting the lay of the land here.
19.
19. Perfect. Okay. Tell me this. Are you aiming for another, like, hooved creature? Or are you going for fowl? Like birds?
Well, I feel like the deer is for the people. This one's for Bula. So it's gotta have some meat on it. Can't be a fowl. So it's gotta have some hooves.
All right. You are going to find. You are able to find the tracks of a bunch of peccaries, wild pigs.
Perfect.
Yeah, and their wild pigs are chunky and make great meat. So, with that 19, you're able to find a whole group of them sort of nestled down. They're like sleeping. You found their tracks and you followed them. They're all just like passed out, like their tails are flicking in the warm sun as the flies try and land on them. But they're all just kind of laying there snoozing, like under a bunch of bushes in the shade. So go ahead and roll to attack with advantage.
Okay. Just pull back the short bow and like 18 plus 8. 26.
Yeah. You take down 2 sleeping peccaries before the rest are even awake.
Perfect. And I kind of tie them up and have them like over my shoulder, like a long stick.
Yeah.
Like I'm basically like holding them.
Yeah, and they're sizable. They're both like 40 pounds, so you got a good amount of meat here.
Oh, Bula's gonna be so happy.
She's gonna be thrilled. That's gonna make some good bacon. Okay. Yeah, and the druids lead you back to Eltes, out of the woods. But you got a very good look here while you were with them out there at their sort of way of life and how they how they commune with the woods and keep their people happy.
Beautiful. And then if there is time, I don't want to take up too much time. I did want to see if the Druid Henley's out in like the outside courtyard. They're in the outer courtyard.
You do see her, and in fact, Ariadne and her group go to check in with her specifically to let her know what they got, so she could mark it down, so that she's keeping all the different tallies for what they're using as they start the party later. So they lead you right up to her and check in with her before they take everything down to the kitchens, to the larders.
Perfect.
But yeah, you're welcome to chat with her. You can also send the peccaries to be processed and cooked in the kitchens if you want to, just with the note that they're reserved for Bula or you.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's perfect.
Cool. Yeah.
Ariadne
gives you a salute.
And I'll just reciprocate the salute back to them, and then I'll just look over to Druid Henley. Henley, I have just a quick question for you.
Yes.
I noticed that when we had first kind of arrived here, my friend Seraphina, her little, well, maybe not so much little, dragon-looking creature, you seem to give like a kind of like a nod or something to it.
Yes. I believe you all call her Glitterbell?
Yes, Glitterbell, yes. You seem to have some
Lovely.
kind of quite magnificent, and but I was wondering, since it seems like you have a rapport with Glitterbell, and quite quickly, I might add. I've been traveling with them for a while, and it seems like that creature just gets more and more wild as we travel together and as it gets bigger. I was wondering if you know of any way to kind of, I don't know, maybe potentially domesticate the beast a little bit more. Because Glitterbell leaves some big glitter duties around the campsite.
You're tired of cleaning up the floorboards of the yurt.
Yes. I'm afraid my companion Seraphina spoils Glitterbell a little bit too much. So I mean, I just saw that you have like a good connection with Glitterbell, so I was wondering if you had any tips or anything like that.
Certainly. Okay, I want you to do 2 rolls here. First, I want you to roll insight.
All right. I don't know nothing. It's 5.
You don't know nothing. Second, roll persuasion.
All right, that is an 18.
Okay. She says, yes, Glitterbell, is a very unique pseudo-dragon. I've only seen 1, maybe 2 others in my lifetime. To domesticate a pseudo-dragon, it's like you're asking me how to domesticate a sea worm. It is not possible. However, your friend and the pseudo-dragon seem to have, as what Glitterbell calls, a deep and enduring connection. So...
Wait, Glitterbell told you that?
Oh, yes. I commune with beasts quite often, and she has her own very unique way of communicating, but yes, I feel we reached a quick understanding, which is what you would have seen last we all met.
Oh, well, okay. All right. Yeah, I was just quite curious as to, how Glitterbell seemed to have like an air of respect for you so quickly. So,
yes, yeah. I just sort of met her on her level, I think, and as I said, she's a lovely beast. I think that being a pseudo-dragon is quite a complex state of existence, and she herself is quite unique even for a pseudo-dragon. So, my best advice for your friend is to continue encouraging their bond, but know that Glitterbell will require much of her that any other animal companion would not. And it is as much Glitterbell domesticating Seraphina as it is the other way around.
Julian just takes that in for a second. It's like, oh, that sounds like the most impossible thing I've ever heard. But I will take your advice to heart. Is Glitterbell going to get bigger than she is right now?
Yes, and quite rapidly, I fear.
Oh no! Okay.
She is. If her growth pattern is anything like that of typical dragons, she is at the end of her sort of adolescence and will soon go through a rather dramatic transformation. Not only size-wise, but in ability.
We're gonna need a bigger yurt.
We're certainly going to need a bigger yurt, yes.
Well, Druid Henley, thank you for your time. I'm sure you're quite busy with getting ready for the Jubilee. I will leave you to it.
Thank you very much. You as well. And she goes back to work. Okay. Flipping over to Marway. Your plan for the day, a date with Benji.
Yeah.
What is it you are wanting to do? He is up for whatever you are. He knows that he will have time tomorrow to go and visit with a lot of the members of his circle, but he wouldn't be opposed to introducing you if you'd like.
I think the first thing is he would just find whatever gardens he can find.
Sure.
Just to kind of walk around looking at the flowers. And just kind of add an idle chit-chat.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this place is a garden altogether. So what you can do is, we'll give you kind of the same thing Seraphina was going for. Do you want to find one of the sort of internal gardens in the castle, or do you want to go out and find one of the more natural, almost pollinator-esque gardens out within, the woods and the community at large?
External, definitely.
Okay. You both take off, and you're able to sort of ask around, make small talk with a lot of the druids, and they point you in the direction of what they're very proud of themselves, which they call the meadow. And you make your way there, and you have to walk. You take a bit of a hike through the woods to get there, away from sort of the crowds. You're going sort of parallel to the sea, if you were sort of orienting yourself by that along the coast. But you come out of the woods in this high up glade on top of a very steep, sharp sea cliff. Overlooking the bay, and the meadow itself is all this absolutely almost perfect white flowers just covering the meadow, and this tall soft grass just swaying in the wind to the point where the ocean waves have the same sort of swaying motion as the grass itself in the breeze. It's so light here and airy, and it's just constantly the most refreshing earthy meadow. And then the woods around this meadow, this wildflower meadow, are filled with all kinds of different interesting plant life that appears to be both natural and kept. It is a place for pollinators, essentially, to make sure that all the actual growing crops, the eating crops, are being well pollinated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think main thing is I think he's in awe of this. I mean, the first time he saw a beach was when we went to the one place after getting attacked by a squidtopus.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, seeing now both a beautiful beach and beautiful nature all at the same time, I think kind of has Marway a little awestruck. Because his last time at a beach was just sand and city. So I think he kind of associates that with just beach.
Yeah, and this is a very different kind of coastline that you're overlooking. Think like the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland. Like, it is a view, even outside of this perfectly kept meadow. It is just it's awe-inspiring.
Yeah,
Then
I
she
don't even
says,
know what to say.
This is a slightly better cliffside view than the one overlooking the Undying Wood at Verisrash, ain't it?
I would have to agree with you there. I mean, the first time I saw a beach was only a couple months, or maybe even just a month ago, and all these beautiful flowers. I'm actually a knight of flowers, you know.
You're what? How do you become a Knight of Flowers?
Well, what you do is you go to a festival of flowers, and you save the festival whenever it's in danger, and then you get knighted as a knight of flowers. We all got it.
You all got knighted for saving a festival. How am I not surprised? That sure does add up to what I know you guys to do, so I'm not even going to question that story. I grew up on a beach. This whole peninsula is a bunch of beaches, and I did love the ocean before everything. Since then, I've tried to live inland as much as I can. I don't like to look at it, but you guys taking us back to Suncrest, I feel like maybe I can appreciate some of those things again. Like an ocean view with a friend.
Very nice to hear. I am very happy that we were able to at least take you back, even if we weren't able to restore it in its entirety. But I believe that the two of you can do it. I think Nomi will be able to restore it, and it's going to be better than ever.
The Druids taught us when they found us, when we washed ashore in that little dinghy, how important death is for life. And that no death, under any circumstances, is in vain. Because everything becomes a part of the cycle. And it took me a long time to accept that. And it took me an even longer time to be okay with it. But I didn't need you all to restore it. I didn't ever want that necessarily. I didn't even think that that would have been an option. So we accepted a long time ago what happened to us and our family, but I can appreciate the life my parents gave us, and I can appreciate the life that the Druids gave us after, and I can appreciate that all of that led me right here. And I'm just gonna keep on walking. So that's what Nomi and I have always done. And that's how I know she's gonna get our village back to what it used to be. We all just need someone to walk with us.
That's very true. After my home was taken, I did not learn that lesson very well. I was by myself for quite some time, and I was rather stagnant for quite a while. I didn't really leave the hut that I had created for myself, and all of the locals didn't really care for my presence. But it took Bula coming and finding me and rescuing me, and now look at it. I've got all kinds of friends.
Sorry that you spent that time alone, but you are not alone anymore.
I'm not.
He
Had someone else
inches
come
his
and...
hand over to where your pinkies are touching.
I
do
am
anything
not
more than that.
sad that I waited, because had someone else come to get me, I probably wouldn't be right here right now. And I think his little pinky's gonna like interlock with his pinky.
He says, If there's anything these druids know about the nature of life, it's that everything is an accident, and therefore, nothing is an accident.
I don't really understand if I know that one, but I will take your word for it.
I was hoping you would. You seem more wise than I am, and I was really hoping you could explain it to me.
Sometimes the translation just doesn't really make sense to me.
Well, I speak
A lot-
perfectly good common, and it doesn't make any sense to me either.
They keep saying these things, these riddly words, and I just sit there and I'm like, I guess if that's what's going to work for you, but I think I'm getting better sometimes, but then they say stuff like that, and I just, it feels like every ounce of progress that I've made is right back to me sitting in the hut reading a children's book.
I like the way you talk. I like when people say things simply and say what they mean, and it seems like that's what you're all about.
Things should be simple. I wish more things were. Back where I'm from, everything was simple. For a long time, I didn't think I would ever see it again, but I think I'm starting to feel like maybe I will.
Do you want to?
I want to help the people there, but I don't know. I mean, I see it every night, and I don't think that it's a good thing to see it every night. But I know that it's my duty to help my people, and so I don't think it matters if I want to see it. I think what matters is that after such a long time, I have people that do the impossible daily. And even if I'm not strong enough to save my home, I think they are.
We all just need someone to walk with us, and I think they're gonna walk with you right into there, and I think they're gonna help your people with you. And you are one of those people I've seen do impossible things, so include yourself in that number.
Well, speaking of walking, I know it's quite the journey back, so I kind of wanted to come here because I thought to myself, what are some of my favorite things to do? And looking at flowers is one of them. So I thought I would do it with you, and I've recently found a new favorite thing that might make our trip a little bit shorter. If you've ever flown before, would you like to?
I've never flown before. I would love to. And I don't think there's a better place to take off than right here, huh? He like looks out over the cliff. Can you show me how?
I can certainly try. And he's gonna summon Hearth. And I think he kind of walks over to Hearth and like puts his forehead against her just fully autumn-leaved forehead. And I think in Sylvan he's going to whisper like, "Please be good for me now."
Okay, because you did that, I'm going to roll for his animal handling here. But I'm going to roll with advantage since you're asking her to be good.
I'm also going to have Eden with us, so you can go ahead and add a 2 to that.
10-4. Luckily, our
That's
boy
far
has
away.
pretty
Pops up
decent
on his
animal.
back. There's no saddle, because, you know, Hearth is not a pet. It is his friend. She is his friend. So, and I think he's just kind of like tatting behind him.
Yeah, that's going to be a 24 on the die. So we're looking not on the die, but 24 total. So he walks up very respectfully and bows to her and says, I understand you're one of Mr. Marway's protectors. If you'll have me, I'd be happy to experience what he says is so wonderful about you. He kind of like waits for her to give him permission to mount.
I think she would give like a bow.
Yeah.
And lower one of her wings.
Do you want to ride passenger in the back, or would you like Benji in front of you?
He's gonna be behind me, I think.
Okay. Yeah, he climbs up behind you and wraps his arms around your waist.
We love a big spoon.
We love a big spoon. All right. Go ahead and roll your animal handling. I'll call his good with that 24.
Hold on. I have to make sure I'm mathing right because I can't think right now.
It's getting late.
Maybe a 25.
25, cool. Yeah. You guys, Hearth, as soon as he's mounted up and holding on, before Benji can say what he's about to say next, Hearth just whoosh, books it off the side of the cliff and does like almost a perfect nosedive. Wings tucked in, feather leaves just flapping so fast as he just like lets gravity take you all down to the ocean. And as his beak is about to hit the water, crests up as hard as he can, and you both like feel your stomachs whoosh above up to your throat as he levels out, and just like the tips of his little like bird feet splash the water up so that you guys' like legs go damp and takes off along the ocean waves and is kind of like weaving in and out of the crashing waves, like not letting you all get splashed, going up high and dropping back down again, doing some figure eights, taking you up as high as the atmosphere will allow you all to go up, to the point where you kind of feel Benji shiver and put his chin on your shoulder from behind you and just like take in the view of these beautiful woods of Wawasite.
I think Marway's just gonna, where his arm is around Marway's belly, I think he's just gonna kind of reach his arm up and hold on to his arm.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to do while you guys are out for your day?
I think that's it.
Yeah, and we're gonna ride that bird. You two are gonna ride that bird into the sunset for sure. And let's flash over to Eidos, who is taking the guided tour of Eltes Castle. I think that probably for your tour here, do you like ask around, or are you doing a self-guided tour here? Are you asking someone to show you around?
I think that Eidos has taken a lot of tours of the grounds in his days, so he knows a little bit how this goes. But if there are any obvious points of interest, he's going to ask about it. Would you say that this place is famous?
Famous enough as it is like comparably a capital city of Wawasite. Being just the biggest city, but it's hard to compare it to cities where people go. This is only famous in that it is the city of Wawasite, and Druids just don't kind of do cities. There are some cities in Wawasite, but this is the one that if it's on a map, this city is on the map. So yeah, you probably would have read about it, heard about it.
Okay. I like to imagine that somebody comes up to Eidos and asks if he needs some help, and he says, no thank you, for he will cast Legend Lore, this will be the only opportunity this entire campaign I'll cast Legend Lore at what, 5th level? So stupid. And yeah, it's a 5th level spell. Name or describe a famous person, place, or object. This spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about that famous thing as described by the DM. I love this spell. Important details, amusing revelations, and even secret lore that has never been widely known. So yeah, I think swirling a glass of wine as he studies the, I guess, lack of parapets, the architecture, he'll think back on this place and think to see if he knows anything about it.
Okay. I think the way this spell manifests in my head depends on the place or the thing you're asking about. And in this place, the manifestation is a chipmunk riding on your shoulder and whispering in your ear, like headphones at a museum style, as you look around, narrating the history of this place. That is such a cool spell, and you have 10 minutes of this, so I'm just gonna lore dump for you. I'm trying to read. I'm reading the spell language real fast to see if I have any limit on how far back this goes. Current tales, forgotten stories, Secret lore, never widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. The more information you have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to give you some stuff here.
It says it might be couched in figurative language or poetry. Feel free if yeah. Poems
You have
prepared.
so much more faith in me than I deserve. Okay. Wow. So, Eltes, this castle specifically, is pre-Dionic. This squirrel, he kind of sounds like this, and he tells you a lot of really good information, but in a very silly voice. But the information he gives you is, this is a pre-Dionic War castle. In fact, it is one of the oldest buildings on Dion. At least the foundations are. It was rebuilt over the eras. So the stones themselves, the higher up you go, the more new it is. Castles have fallen and been rebuilt 1,000 times. This one in particular, many times. When you go in the basement, this is old land. Old, well-tread land. This castle, specifically, took very little damage in the Dionic Wars. Specifically, just because the Bay of Ilar has always been difficult to navigate since first creation. This castle was mainly, even back then, before the Dionic War, still the home of a society of people. It was built by people who worshipped the primordials, specifically, before the wars. So it has always been a little bit druidic in nature, though this predates kind of what druids are as a society even now. But they were a people who mainly worshipped sea gods, specifically because they had this proximity to the Bay of Ilar, and it's not so much gods that they believed they were worshipping. These are very early iterations of some sort of higher power that they didn't call gods back then. They didn't know about celestials back then, really. So it might have been a god, it might have been a leviathan of some kind, but whatever they were worshipping, it was some sort of deity of the ocean, therefore a primordial. The castle itself had many denizens over its eons of being rebuilt. It was part of the war-ish in that it was a place where people who worshiped the primordials lived, but it survived physically. The castle itself survived, and many of those old parts of the castle survived because the people who worshipped the primordials left to fight in the war. The war did not have to come to them. It just didn't happen to cross this part of the land on the continent where it was before. You will learn further as you keep exploring that after the wars, someone survived in this castle, managed to make it through the war. Not everybody died in the war. It wasn't a whole apocalyptic everybody dies kind of war, but stragglers survived and suffered for it. They were, imagine being some of the last people on Earth. And a few people survived in this castle through the whole war and made it to the Accordance era after the war was over. And those people, the secrets that they held were that they watched from afar as the Celestials repopulated the Earth from the Eastern continent. They remained hidden as much as they could from these new populations, but the Eastern continent in the Accordance era was sort of gifted in the final treaties, what you might call a treaty if it wasn't god level. The Eastern continent, the world was divided. The world of Dion was divided by continent, and the Eastern continent was gifted to the what you call the uninvited gods, for them to repopulate with new races that had never been on Dion before, which is where you get lots of different kinds of races. The primordials were also given this space, so the primordials also got to create some new races of people like the Leonin. So all kinds of new races were created here, whereas the other continents were kind of more Dion's gift to herself, since she was ultimately the victor in the Celestial War. That's why a lot of like humans and dwarves are from the Middle Continent. A lot of elves and drow are from the Western continents. And so the world is kind of divided up that way. Now people have traversed the world since then. So people have moved, intermingled, settled in different places, but that is how the world became repopulated after the Cataclysmic War. And this castle watched it all happen secretly, and the original people who survived that war died very rich, but very impoverished in that they remained hidden out of fear and did not participate in any of these new burgeoning, if you could call them societies, but these like tribal nomadic people who were being created by the gods as they watched. Since then, different communities have sort of come and gone from the castles, or these lands generally, but the Druids very quickly moved to the land and sort of made a peaceful existence, and were probably some of the only people who could have maintained such close proximity to the Undying Wood for so long, just in that they respected the curse enough to leave it the heck alone. They weren't pushing it as much as other communities have been. Therefore, they weren't being killed by it very often. Or being sucked into it, I guess. Trying to think of like some little details. King Simond has done so many drugs in his lifetime. Like, in almost every room of this castle, this man has done all kinds of drugs. Like, mostly psychedelic mushrooms, quite a bit of whisper grass. Yeah, this man's brain is just, this is your fried egg brain on drugs. But people really respect him. He definitely earned his like position as first druid, in that like he is an incredibly accomplished healer. He's an incredibly empathetic sort of therapist for his people. He can, because his brain is so drug-addled, he can empathize with people without it weighing on him personally as much as it would your typical human. He cannot take on secondhand trauma because he has such a bright outlook on life and gives really good advice. And on top of that, he is just like medically an incredible healer, which is an important person to have as a leader according to the Druids. Before him, there were some other first druids. The castle wasn't always sort of like a capital of the druidic circles. It just works out well because it's already there. They like to use what they have, and they're not going to let anything go to waste. Any questions? Anything in particular you want to dig into?
Other than that,
But wait,
I didn't
there's
give you
more.
much.
you didn't address this specific thing. I was thinking. No, I mean that's more than I could have asked for. I think maybe with that, Ados just looks with the squirrel. Is this like a physical manifestation of a squirrel? Or other people would just call, is it a squirrel?
You cast the spell on yourself. I think only you can see it.
Okay. Well,
You
regardless,
can
me
feel
and
it
this.
sitting there on your shoulder, but you realize, like, you can't. Like, you could just run your hand right through it. It's essentially an illusion. But he's talking to you like this, and he has a really funny accent. So it turns out the Dionic War killed almost everybody, but they were all cowards.
Squirrel friend, how do you know so much of this place?
I don't know. I think I was born here, like, 5 minutes ago, and then he started asking me questions, and I just knew the answers.
I thank you.
Are you going to send me back into the void from which I came?
I would like to do that very much. Your voice is grating, but informative, and, you know... there-
Good, this has been 10 minutes of what I can assume is the worst hell anybody has ever had to survive. I have an eon's worth of knowledge in my head that no squirrel should ever have.
So,
I hate it
So
here
much-
and I wish to die.
so much information for such a small body. I release you, and I am sorry, truly. I will call on you again pretty soon, though, I'm sure.
It's so much less awful than And he dissipates.
Never asked his name.
Okay, and with that, you've all either had a fun time today, gained some information, bought a couple pigs, or found a small treasure of letters, old letters. So we're gonna wrap it up for the night. We will see you all again next week. We play D&D every Monday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Watch us on Twitch. You can catch all the old episodes on YouTube if you're just getting caught up. There's so much stuff going on. These guys are all over the place. So come see us again next week, and have a good week, and stay safe and stay healthy. Thanks for watching. Toodaloo.
Bye bye.